crafty friends. How's everybody doing on this wonderful Memorial Day? It was some crazy weather here. It thundered a little bit, it rained, it sunshined, it rained again, it thundered again, and it was windy, and now it's humid, very little wind and cloudy. It was a crazy day today. I mean, it looked really beautiful this morning, and then, I don't know, it just got stranger as the day went on. But it was a beautiful day nevertheless. I hope that you've had a blessed, long Memorial weekend and that you had a little bit of time to reflect. I am pulling us up on my iPad. I've got my camera backwards because I'm not going to be able to see which way I need to change the camera to since I have my phone backwards. So let me find us. Here we are. And if you are new to me, welcome, welcome. I call us the Whimsy Bunch. So welcome to the Whimsy Bunch. You will fit right in. We are faith-filled, wonderful, loving, inspiring ladies, and I'm looking forward to creating with you. This evening, I want to use the hat stencil in a different way because not everybody likes hats or uses hats. So I want to show you a different way to use that stencil. And the stencil we are using tonight is going to be Faith Moves Mountain. That is this one right here. And look at the beautiful detail in the stencil. I mean, I just love that one. And I know you're going to think, how in the heck is that going to fit on that little board? Trust the process. Faith can move mountains. This board from Craft Deals is 12 wide and 8 high. 12 long and 8 high. I'm going to go ahead and turn you down. So hopefully you'll be seeing a little bit better. I know the angle is kind of off, but I kind of like it because I can see my I can't even think. I can see better. I can see my iPad better. But I do want to move it over a little bit more. Let me see if I can get it to come over a little bit more and not so. Hopefully it won't knock my stand over, which is a total possibility. Let's see if that will help. I want you guys to be able to see. And for some reason it shows all the stuff back here, and you really don't need to see that stuff back there. You need to see this stuff. But I cannot move my stand over any more than that. So we're just going to have to make do, guys. I'm using the Minwax wood finish water-based stain to stain this. And if I say paint, I mean stain it white. That will be our base that we will use all the other colors on. And you guys know I use my Harbor Freight sponge and normally 2 gloves, but I'm just going to use 1 glove tonight. And excuse the mess behind the scenes. You get to see it all. I normally use it 8 times. 1 in each corner on one side and 1 in each corner on the other side. And then I throw it away. So let's paint this. I'm not sure what color I am going to do the outside, the edge. So I am just going to leave it. And if I get a little bit of paint on there, that is fine. You can always sand it off. But I think I might do that in a brown. Depends on what I put on the other side. So we'll just leave it for now. Depends on how I want to pull this together, because I always like double-sided projects. So I normally put something else on the other side, and hanging it, I will put 2 eye hooks in there to hang it up. And just like that, we've got it painted white. Close my lid back up. I'm going to hear a little noise. And I cannot see comments, so if you are on, I cannot see any comments on my phone. I welcome you. I appreciate you guys being here. Please comment. If you're watching on replay, just let me know. Hashtag replay and say hey, and I will say hey back to you. I just like to know that you've been here and visited with us. And again, I call us the Whimsy Bunch. We are all faith-filled, whimsical people. I'll move this up a little bit, and then hopefully you'll be able to see a little bit better. And don't let me forget to do our blessing box tonight. I like doing that, to leave you with a little bit of a blessing and a verse. That just brings my heart joy, makes me happy. And I don't know why I just dried that, because I really didn't need to, because we're going to add some other colors in it, and I wanted it to blend a little bit. On the bottom, I am going to use a little bit of the Portobello color, just to add a little bit in. Whoop. Yeah, just splattered on here. That's where my color went. Got a little mess to clean up on aisle 9. Bear with me just a second, folks. And again, appreciate you guys being here. All the things that I'm using this evening, I have linked in the header. I've also put my code in there, and I am now an affiliate with Craft Deals as well. So the oval that I'm using is linked, so you have everything that you need if you want to recreate this project. In the header, I've linked the stencil itself and the head collection, which will go live tomorrow. Set your alarms. Normally it is at midnight. I am not sure if they're doing it at midnight, but normally they go live at midnight. I'm also going to add a little bit of burlap down here. Sure I am. So it's going to be one of those evenings, folks. That one is going in the trash. Since I dried this completely and didn't think about it, I'm just going to spritz it a little bit. I'm just going to try to create a little bit of a ground on the bottom. And then the top will be more of a sky background. And I'm just carrying it out all the way to the edges. Now this is going to be our ground, our dirt, whatever you want to call it. I am going to get another brush for the top. And the top, I am going to add blue chiffon. Whoa, I'm gonna add a little bit of vintage pink. Well, I can see comments. Hello, Bonnie, I can see your comments. Can you guys see good? Do I need to move that camera down? I could try to move it. And I am going to put a couple of sprigs of cranberry wine in here. Because we're going to have a mountain scene. And I want to have a little bit of that deeper tone in here. Again, I'm going to spritz it. Looks like a hot mess right now. Look at this. That is my hot mess background. Trust the process. Miss Bonnie, can you tell me if you can see this good? Because for some reason or another, this angle is just weird to me. The more I turn it down, the more of the back you see, and I don't really like that. Just a real fine mist on here. Dry brush. Ooh, that is dark. We might have to tone that down just a smidge, but we'll see. It's a pretty good mountain background color, isn't it? Ooh. That does look pretty. I can see that sunset mountain color in here. I'm going to add a little bit of blue on the bottom. I love backgrounds like this. They are so pretty. Blend that in a little bit. And finish out the edges. I'm going to try to carry that all the way out to the edges. That's a little bit dry, so it's not flowing, so I'm just going to spritz it with a little bit of water. And that will get to the edges. If you are new to me, I would like for you to follow me. So if you would want to follow me, just hit that follow button. If you are not getting notified when I'm live, go into your notifications and check and make sure if your notifications are on. What do you guys think? Does that look good as a background? I do have to define that horizon line a little bit. Since this is dry, I'm just spritzing it a little bit. Because we know that our horizon line is normally straight. think that will be good. Does that look like a mountain background? Wish I could see comments better. I can see fine. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do you have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, Miss Bonnie? And how is your booth going, my dear? I'm so excited for you. I pray that you are doing well in your booth because your art is beautiful. So I want to make sure that this is dry before we add our stencil on here. I'm using my 120 grit little little sanding block. Not paper, just a sanding block. And the reason why we sand over it is, and this is probably not 120 anymore, is when we put paint on here or stain, it raises the grain up and it makes it feel not smooth. So I just come in and sand it a little bit. Now we have that. And we'll see. Hopefully these were good colors that we chose. If you want this more muted, if you don't want it as bright, you can do a whitewash over top of it and make it darker. Make it more translucent. But I'm going to try to stay with that and see what it will look like. All right. Faith Can Move Mountains is going on the top like this. This was perfect. I have not planned this. The S and part of the F are right in our horizon line. This could not have worked out any better. And as you guessed, this is going on the bottom, but we are not going to use the whole part. I am going to cut it off right here and just use part of the scenery, and then we're going to add the rest. And I am going to do the bottom part first, but I'm going to put this on as my guide to see where I want this to be. Over a little bit more, like that. That will be perfect right there. I know I'm talking to myself. All right, so now I can move this off and I can mark off what I don't want to use. I am not going to use this tree next to here. I'm going to turn it a little bit so I can take this off better. So I just want to show you that you can use these hat stencils for other things besides hats. And I absolutely love this stencil. I think this one and the Amazing Grace one are two of my favorite. I like all the stencils in that hat collection. They're all wonderful. But those two are my favorite. And don't forget, you can pull out words. You have faith in there. You have grace in there. You have mountains in all of those stencils. You've got the word horses. I mean, you've got so many different ones in there that you can use for other things. So don't just look at the stencil as, well, I don't wear hats, or I don't do hats, so I'm not going to be able to use this. All right, I think this looks good. And we're going to do all kinds of different colors. We're not going to do any of this. Let me take this off up here, because I'm not going to use that. I'm not going to use that either. We will bring in the mountains, but we're not going to put them in right there. I see you said you were making a snowman sign or leaner, and I just thought that was so exciting. I love snowmen. Okay, I've got two different greens. I've got a Hauser Dark. The trees in the background are darker than the ones in the foreground, and I want to add a little bit of shading to them or highlights. So I'm going to use two different greens. And this one is Hauser Medium. So it's Hauser Dark, Hauser Medium. Praying that your booth will pick up. And it's possible that people were out of town for Memorial Day. You know, you never know. I am going to use the big, I'm going to use for all of this detail work, I'm going to use the dome brushes. I'm going to use one of the bigger ones for the trees. And I want to do the trees and then the walkway and all the other grasses. But I'm going to use the dark one first. After you load your brush, make sure that you offload it, and don't forget to offload the sides as well. I washed brushes today and there was so much paint left in this brush. I cleaned and cleaned and cleaned, and I got all of that paint out. So the ones further back are, and I'm stippling because I like that extra effect. And since this is pretty much open area, I don't have to offload as much as long as I start in the middle. And then if we see that we want to fill something in, that we need a little extra grass, a little extra something here or there, we can do that. I'm going to get a little piece of cardboard, a little Becker board, because I don't want this to go into my walkway. And for my trees, I'm stippling, because I like that little extra texture. I am going to dry that here in a moment. These trees are going to be dark green as well. The front one is going to be lighter green with a little bit of dark accents, and the back ones is going to be the opposite. We're going to add a little bit of light highlights. And this is going to be cool. I'm so excited about this. It's part of the walk or the drive. Okay, still grass. That's where these dome brushes come in. I just ordered me some more because I've got a bunch that I haven't washed. So I just ordered some new ones until I get them washed. And some of them I have had, some brushes I've had for a long time. So it's time to replenish. I'm going to dry this, and then I'm going to I know you cannot sell them at, you know, on a planner. Oh my gosh. You better send me a picture. I love it. Post it. Yeah, and sometimes they just have to get used to you being there and seeing the art. And sometimes tourists are more likely to buy something at a higher price than regular people. And sorry if you hear dogs barking, not sure why, but they're barking. You know, this mountain scene is just so beautiful, so peaceful, and I'm just so glad that the Lord has created mountains for us to go to, that we can enjoy the beauty. And the saying says faith can move mountains. It really can. We just have to believe. Sometimes we just don't trust enough. And I pray that you will believe in the Lord, that you will trust Him. He can make that happen. I am going to keep this same brush, and I'm going to do the other tree and all the other greenery around here with that lighter green. It will mix a little bit. I'm okay with that. If those two mix, it'll just create another green. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm going into the big areas first, and then I'm tapping out to the smaller area. Big area first, and I'm tapping out to the smaller area. The edge, just make sure that you don't go too far over on the edge. I am pouncing and going in from the outside in to get a little bit of that detail. Make sure that it is good. I'm going to go ahead and do the little grasses here. On the flowers. Okay, that's my walk. So I'm going to block that off. Now you know why we colored the background in the color we did. It is representing the earth, the dirt. And it'll all flow together. And I'm just using my little backer sheet. Also, don't forget on Essential Stencil, the Halloween and fall. I know it's halfway to Halloween. Check those out. Let's see, what else do we have? The hat collection goes live tomorrow. I cannot remember until when the bundles are discounted at 25% off. I think that's all the green. Now I'm just going to come in here and add a little bit of green here and there, just to give these trees a little dimension. You might not be able to see it with the naked eye. But there is a little bit of different color in there. And I'm going to go back over this right here and add a little bit more color in here. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to dry it back off, and then I'm going to come in with my dark green and add a little bit of highlight. Or low light in this case. I'm going to add a little bit more to these trees. Just adding a little bit of interest. And I'll do the same thing for some of these grasses. All right, let's see what we got. Got all that. I'm gonna go ahead and do the walkway next. We use dark chocolate. I can't wait to see that snowman planter. That's gonna be so cute. And remember, folks, if you are watching on replay, hashtag replay. I'm going to use this medium one for, let me stick this in my little, in case I need this again. The medium one for our walkway. Again, dip it in, load your brush, and offload on the sides. I think I offloaded that one a little bit too much. I love playing around with color. Now, if you're doing this on a hat, you can just do it all in one color. You don't have to do different colors. But even on a hat, I would use these small dome brushes. And I believe they are still on sale, so when you're ordering, don't forget to add a couple of those brushes, the dome brushes, the regular stencil brushes, and the, I don't have one laying around here, and the detail brushes. And when we pull this off, we'll see if there's any areas we want to add some hand painting to it, or if it looks good enough, we don't want to add anything. I will add a little bit of the brown around the edges to frame this all in. I am going to use a little bit of that brown right here to do a trunk. This brush is a little bit too big for that. Let's see if I can use this one. Just the indication that there is a trunk, a tree trunk. Not much, just a little. Good to me. All we have left is our little flowers. The flowers I am going to do in marigold, and then I'm going to add a little bit of jack-o'-lantern orange. I figured they were little yellow mountain flowers. And I'm making them all the same color. I'm not going to differentiate them. And we can come in and fill these in because that's only going to be an outline. So we can come in and fill them in if we want to. I am going to come back with that brush that I just used and add a little bit of brown in there. These I'm going to leave. And I'm going to use the same brush and get a little bit of that orange. Don't need much because we're just going to give these flowers a little highlight. On that one, I am going to do this part in the middle darker. get everything? I think we got everything. We got all our details in. Go ahead and take all this tape off. When you take your tape off, be very careful because you got very fine bridges on these Christmas trees or fir trees or tap trees. So please be very careful that you don't rip your bridges. And it is much easier to take this off while it is laying down. And I just put my tape on the edge of the table so that I can use it again. Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm so excited. Look at this. Oh my gosh, that just looks awesome. I gotta wait until it shows up in the camera. I just love that. Can you just not see a sunset back here? Yeah, yeah. This is amazing. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, let's do Faith Can Move Mountains on the top. I had to get it just right, folks. Now, Can Move Mountains, I was going to do in the dark gray because, you know, the mountains are like a dark gray or white and black. And Faith, should we do Faith in the marigold or in this dark cranberry color? I'm thinking, the reason why I'm saying those two, we can use any color, but you know, I associate color with different things. The cranberry wine could represent Jesus's blood, so we could put that on there for the Faith. I know it's not red. Or marigold for the sunshine. The other color that I thought would be pink, but I think the pink would blend in too much with that background and we wouldn't be able to see it. A mini Christmas tree. Oh my gosh, that is going to be so gorgeous. I don't know if I'm going to do... I'm almost leaning towards that one than that one. It's a hard choice, folks. Let's do the Move the Mountains first and then. And if you have not sprinkled this out, please sprinkle it out. I appreciate that greatly. And this is zinc, which is a dark gray. Because we are going to add some mountains in here as well. And I am going to use my 7/8 inch brush. I normally don't use a big brush like this. got it loaded. I'm going to offload it. Still don't know which color to use. I'm really torn about the color. Go right, go left when you do your swirling motions, so you make sure you got everything good. I think I'm going to go with the cranberry. About to say, a minute ago I had a bunch come out. What happened? I am just going to use the brush that I used before. I've cleaned it off. Offload again. And in case you missed it, I am an ambassador with Essential Stencil, and I absolutely love their stencils, and their transfers are absolutely amazing. These stencils are so easy to clean. They last. I've got stencils from when I first started, and they are still as they were the first day. Even when there is paint on them, you can still use them. I know there's several creators that use them. I like to be able to see through, so I don't use mine if they are dirty, because I like to see through them. That's what I love about these stencils. Stay tuned, we're still going to do the mountains, so don't leave me yet. And then don't forget at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, that's today's Monday, Miss Amanda should be on. All of the ambassadors, the brand ambassadors, go live during the week, Monday through Friday. Being a holiday today, she might not come on. I'm not sure. Depends on what's going on. She may or may not be on. I just thought about that. But check out the page anyway. Just a little bit more. Ready for the reveal? That was a good choice in color, ladies. Faith can move mountains, and I just saw a little sprig on here that I need to clean up. I've got a little bit of extra green right here, and I'm just going to clean that up real quick. I say I am. sometimes you just need a little sharp tool and you can just scrape it off. And then we can take just a little bit of this burlap color and add that back in, and nobody will never know. Okay, now we're gonna add a couple of mountains in here, and then I will hold it up so you guys can see the details. Make sure you don't have no paint on the back side so that everything is good. Put that mountain range right there. And I don't want the trees, just want the mountains. Struggling with my tape today. Did you see that? And I'm going to use another dome brush. And we're going to use zinc and slate gray. Zinc is going to go on the left side where it is dark shadows, and the slate is going to go on the other side where the light colors are. Do the light color first because I can always go from light to dark with my brush and use the same brush. And I'm gonna do a couple of light colors in here. And then the rest is going to be dark. And again, this brush makes it so easy to get into these small, tiny spaces. Now I'm going into the dark. Loading my brush. And I'm going to do this back side of the mountain, which is in the shade. And I always offload. and stipple a little bit. That will give you a little bit of a texture. Ooh, had a little bit too much paint. I might have to correct that. I'm gonna grab a little bit of that light gray and tap that over here on that side. I'm gonna make that a little bit more dark. You can also add a little bit black to your gray if you want it even darker. But I think this is dark enough. Thank you all for hopping on. Again, all the links are in the comments. In the header. I'm an ambassador with Essential Stencil and an affiliate with Craft Deals. So, oh, that looks good. If there is anything that you're interested in, you can use the links provided. My code for both places is WK21, which saves you at checkout. And I just linked the surface with Craft Deals and the stencils from Essential Stencil. That way, you don't have to go look for them. You got them right there at your fingertips. And this is what we have so far. Now we're going to add another mountain. And I might duplicate that mountain over on this side. Go up with this one like this. That's the nice thing about these stencils. You can see through them and move them around to where you need them to be. And again, I do not want this tree that's in here. We are taping this tree off. And we're going to tape that little flower off. That should be good. I lost my brush. I don't know what happened to it. Go use the light gray again. Light swirling motion. Remember, the light gray is the side that the sun is shining on. The dark gray is the shady side. Gives your mountain dimension. Now we're going into the dark gray again. Always dab your brush off, offload it. Don't want to have too much paint on your brush. I'm going to dry this and I'm going to apply probably another coat. I don't see any other comments, but thank you all for hopping on. Thank you for sprinkling it out. Even if you watch on replay, please sprinkle it out so that others will see. If you want to be notified, exclamation mark, notify, and it will notify you. Also, check your notifications. Do the 3 dots and check and see if you are still getting notification. Anytime they do updates, they kind of reset things. So just check and see if everything is still set the way that you want it, so you won't miss any of your favorite creators. We don't want you to miss anybody. I'm going to dry it one more time. Ooh, looking good. I'll put another mountain range on here. It might not fit completely. We're almost out of time. But I think we can make it work. Let me move my stuff out of the way here. Yep, we'll just leave that one out and do it just like that. Perfect. Because this one is going over the tree. So we're not going to do that one. We're not doing that tree. And we're not doing this tree. And I'm going to put a little dab right here on this one. And we're going to use the same colors. So we're going to start with our light gray. And that is the only part that is light gray. I am going to make this part a little bit light gray and this part. And in case you're just joining, the links for all the products are in the header, in the introduction. The link for craft deals for this board is in there. For the stencil that I'm using is in there, and for the hat collection, which will release tomorrow. It normally releases at midnight. I mean, I just went over that one that I wanted to keep light colored. Goodness, Anne. My goodness. And I'm not seeing any comments, so if I did not acknowledge you that you were on, I do apologize. I am not seeing any comments. Not seeing any comments. Gotta get a little bit more of that dark gray, and we are gonna be just about finished. I am gonna do one other thing. But since I cannot see comments, I am not sure. I am gonna ask and let you guys let me know in the comments. And I will not add that until later. So stay tuned. I'm gonna make this one light gray again. And I'm gonna add a little bit of highlights to this one. It'll give a dimension. I like that. There's our mountain range. And I said I was going to use the brown to go around the edges. This finishes it off and frames it in. Making it a little bit darker on the bottom right here. And adding a little bit of brown here and there in it. I'll get my other brush. Where's the other brush? Here it is. Need a little bit more brown. Just adding just a smidge of brown to these so that they'll be able to just kind of have some ground under them. And this is what I wanted to do, and I wanted to ask you which color we should do, and I'm going to hold it this way so you can see. I'm going to glue a cross on here. And should we do color number 1? Or color number 2? This one is number 1, and this one is number 2. Which one should we use? The dark one or the lighter one? The dark or the light? Dark or light? You guys let me know, and I will glue that on after I look at the comments. And it will be on there like that. And we could, even if we wanted to, add one in the middle right there. Alright, let me know what you think. Put a cross over here where the faith is, or put the cross in the middle. And if we had 3 crosses, we could even put one in the mountains. And then we have our 3 crosses. You guys let me know. Appreciate you hopping on. Hop over to Essential Stencil and see if Amanda is on. I am not sure. Oops, excuse me. I am not sure if she's on tonight since it is Memorial Day. I pray that you will have a blessed and wonderful rest of the evening. Enjoy your day off and celebrate and reflect on those that paid the ultimate price for our freedom. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Sprinkle out the whimsy and join us for some more crafting fun on Thursday at 6:30 Eastern. And you guys have a blessed evening. I'm going to turn you back down so you can see my messy table and the project, and I can turn this off.